Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the PTR for patch 7.1, and in today's video I'm going to show off some of the brand new mounts arriving in this patch, as well as also shed some light on a mount which currently shows in our tabs, but we don't appear to know how to actually acquire it. I'll leave that one to the end. So first up, we have the Arcanists Mana Saber. Now there's a few rather interesting things about this mount straight away. Number one, you can actually acquire this by completing a quest. It's as simple as that. Fate of the Nightborn. Now I'm not saying that the quest per se is easy, but when something is rewarded when you complete a quest, it normally means everybody can get it. It's not gated off by an elite member of the community, so it's not gated off by mythic only raiders or something along those lines. So let's just for argument's sake say that that quest was attached to the Nighthold raid. Although raiders would be able to get it sooner than most people, LFRers would still be able to get it just at a slightly later date. Not too much either. So that's really nice indeed. Secondly, yes, it is a rework of the Mystic Rune Saber, which you can purchase from the Blizz store. And just looking at it, I'm going to say right now, I don't think this mount's going to be able to fly. If you look at the shoulder armor, and if you also look at the armor around it, there doesn't appear, at least at first glance, for any wings to sprout from for us to be able to fly. And, of course, if this mount was able to fly, what would be the point of purchasing the Mystic Rune Saber? It's slightly different, yes, but other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. So probably a ground-based only mount, but it does look gorgeous. Elves, night elves, blood elves, it doesn't matter what elf. Elves would, high elves, let's just add them to the equation. Let's not be racist. They'll look absolutely fantastic on this, as will most classes. But it's a beautiful looking mount. Great to know that you can get it, I think, from probably completing the last quest in Suramar, and then one final piece that's interesting about this. If you mount this up while in Suramar City, it will also apply the Masquerade spell, which is the illusion effect that makes you look like one of the Nightborn, which lends to the fact that even when we complete Fate of the Nightborn, there's probably still going to be areas of Suramar City that are hostile. Of course, we still got a bunch of world quests to be getting on with. So there we go, there's the first one. Now let's skip over to Karazhan, because we've got a couple of mounts to have a look at right here. Starting off with Midnight. Now, a lot of people might be saying, well, didn't we already get Midnight? I know this is an updated model, but didn't we already get Midnight back in the Burning Crusade? Technically not, no, because it's not called Midnight, it's called the Fiery Warhorse. It's got a completely different name, which probably should have been Midnight, but that's just by the by. They've at least had an opportunity now to course correct on the name there. But I've got to say, this is just beautiful. And what's really, really cool about this, thank the Lord, is it drops from Attumen the Huntsman again. So it drops from the same boss. The first several bosses of the Karazhan dungeon are actually going to be the same as before. But just getting up a little bit close here to have a look, just the detail on the armor is absolutely incredible. As soon as I saw this, the very first time that I saw this, I knew that this had to be mine. So if there's ever an excuse to live inside of the Karazhan mythic only, I believe, 9 boss mega dungeon, oof, that's a mouthful, ladies. This is it. But of course, because it is going to be mythic only, you're only going to have one chance a week, just like a lot of raid lockouts, to have a crack at getting it. But yeah, this is going to go on farm immediately. The second of the two mounts which you can grab in this dungeon is the Smouldering Ember Worm. Now, no details are currently provided on how you obtain this. Looking at it, This is obviously an updated version of Nightbane, which was one of the optional bosses when the Karazhan raid was on in the Burning Crusade. Now, you had to summon it by using an urn, so it would be very interesting to know if there's anything in Karazhan, the Mega Dungeon, that has anything to do with urns, because if it was, then that could possibly lead to how we would actually be able to acquire this mount. But it's really cool looking. Look at that head on with the two tusks, hornsy, spikesies, and then I really like the what appears to be the shackles on the neck and the feet and the tail. And yeah, if you know the story behind this, well, you can read it right there. It's a pretty grim one, but yeah, beautiful looking mount. That's also going to arrive, but midnight. Oh, midnight. Next up takes us to the Darkmoon Fair. Now, yeah, all right, okay. I'm not in a Darkmoon Fair. I'm in Tol Brad. I get that, but the Darkmoon Fair's buggered off now, hasn't it? So I had to try and find somewhere that looked miserable as fuck. So Tol Brad was the place. And this is for the Dark Water Skate. Stingray. Looks, yeah, we've got a manta looking ray here. Stingray. Very cool underwater only mount. This is going to be another mount that you can't use on land. You've got to be under the waters to do it. I wish Blizzard would put a couple of seconds grace, though, between when it actually hits land and when it vanishes, because I don't know about you guys and gals out there, I love to do jumps out of the top of the water and then back into the water, but of course it dismounts you immediately and it gets really annoying. Never mind. How do you actually get this mount? Well, there's a little bit of graft. I know it says that you can get it from a vendor, and the vendor is right by the pier, not difficult to find at all, so you're not going to be stuck as to where they are. But it's not gold, and it's not reputation. You've got to hand in 500 Darkmoon Daggermore, which is the local fish, the open water fish of the Darkmoon Fair. You don't have to seek out any special pools or anything to get one. Now, because, of course, fishing is the most boring thing ever to do in the World of Warcraft, if you've already fished up some of these and you just got them stored away, then chances are you could probably make a bit of cash by whacking them on the auction house when 7.1 hits. Otherwise, you're going to have to sit there and get 500 out, which is going to be mind-numbing, is going to be monotonous, but put Netflix on, put a podcast on, do something like that, and then, wane away a few hours and you'll get your 500. Don't worry about it. Now, if I quickly jump onto the live servers, if you were to look up Prestigious Warsteed, you'd come up with this. Armoured to withstand collisions in battle, but nothing more is provided about how to get it. And Hordes, if you were to put Prestigious War, you'd get Wolf, and you'd have a little story as well, but nothing that points to how you actually get these mounts. Well, enter patch 7.1, and now if I put Prestigious Warsteed in the search box, we see that you can get it by doing the achievement Free for All, More for Me. So let's bring up the achievement tab and enter it into the top here. There it is. Not showing on live, I'll tell you that for now. And to get the mount, you have to do 4 other individual achievements, which is 20 times Operation Murloc Freedom, 20 times Bareback Brawl, 20 times Black Rook Rumble, and 20 times Dark Brawl Arena. Now, currently, you get to do those areas through World Questing at the moment. So I don't know if Blizzard are going to retroactively award you if you've already been and done a World Quest there, or whether or not they're going to have it set up as a completely fresh quest now, and then you've got to all start from scratch when 7.1 hits. But at least we now know how to get those prestigious mounts. So those are the ones that Blizzard seem to have added so far. Remember, more can come at a later date. We still don't know when 7.1 is going to hit, so there's plenty of time to add to this. got an awful feeling I've missed an obvious one, but maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Who cares? But I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming links. They're in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.